We're now just a little more than a month removed from the Parade Day shooting, so it's time for a check-in. How are you doing? Hasn't been much of a break in violence in Kansas City, and that doesn't exactly forge a path to healing as a community. Despite that, therapists and clinical social workers have been busy trying to help people and families work through the trauma of what they experienced at the Chiefs rally and in the days that followed, reminding people it's okay to not be okay. It was especially heartwarming to see groups like the local branch of the Trauma Recovery Network help people who might not be able to afford therapy.
We have over 100 therapists that reached out to me and we're like, I'm ready, just let me know, send them my way. And so we're just trying to find those people who are still struggling and can't financially afford it.
More than 24 people reached out to them for help, and 18 followed up with a therapist. Other practices and hospital groups have also kept busy helping people, young and old, process what happened as they work to heal. The first step, though, is asking for help. Here to get to the heart of the matter, please welcome Amanda Davis, licensed professional counselor from St. Luke's Crittenden Children's Center. Thank you so much for being here. You and I spoke the day after the shooting, hours after this happened. Some time has passed. We were all very angry in the heat of the moment. Obviously, emotions change as time goes on. Does that change the therapy that you provide and your approach to trying to help people heal?
Yeah, it does. I think right after an event has happened, we look at the therapy when there's trauma involved. Is this the only time this person has had this trauma, or is this something that is a repeated experience for them? And if it's the only time, things will change quite a bit in that month, in that we're going from, those really basic, maybe very physiological symptoms, to a month out, we're starting to see more of the emotional stuff, starting to have people have time and space to think through things a little bit more, even little kids, and so it really does change that conversation.
You bring up a good point, because this could bring up shades of past trauma as well.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we know that shootings are not an unusual thing in Kansas City, and so it's a very good chance a lot of the people who were down there that day have had previous experiences.
Thousands upon thousands of people were down there for the rally and for the parade. What is the number one piece of advice you give to somebody who lived through that, who survived that?
I think that whatever they're feeling is completely normal and understandable, that they should not feel like they don't get to feel a certain way. I think there's probably a large number of people who weren't directly physically shot at, who still had incredibly traumatic experiences, and I think that they really need to know that they have every right to feel traumatized as somebody who was shot.
And plenty of kids down there too, and I know when this happened last month, you and I talked about the approach for kids. When do you start to taper that off? Because at a certain point, I imagine you're just reminding them of the trauma. You got to be walking on eggshells, I imagine, as a parent.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really following your kiddo's lead. So I think directly after we talked about making sure to check in of what they knew and what they understood and how they felt about that. I think that the other times that it makes sense to bring it up would be, of course, anytime they bring it up, right? You want to check in and process with them then. But then the next time you're going to go to a similar event, it might be good to talk about, hey, how do we keep ourselves safe? And really frame it from that place of how are we going to be okay to do this next thing?
One of the biggest reactions that I think we saw from many moms and dads was, I'm not going to bring my kid to another big event. And we have the St. Patrick's Day Parade happening right now. So for the next big event, what would you suggest?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just really important to talk with your kids about, hey, sometimes it's really unusual, but sometimes this stuff happens. So what's our plan as a family to stay safe? Do you have a meeting point you're going to get to? Do you have your phone number written in Sharpie on their arms for the little ones? Do they have a cell phone or an Apple Watch or some way that you can check and track where they are if you get separated? Just talking through the plans and really prepping them for what might happen. And I would say you don't even have to spend all that time on the really scary stuff. There's also going to be stuff like, hey, it might get really noisy. What are you going to do if it feels like it's too loud? Prep for all of those things, and this can just be a part of that.
Right, just tweaking to it. And then you rarely recommend tailoring it to your child's age too.
Oh yeah, definitely want to tailor it to your child's age. Remember that their understanding is very different than yours. So really asking them what their concerns are or what they're scared of is your best way to start, because that'll tell you exactly what they're thinking, so you don't have to guess what it is.
And reaching out for resources too, because there's so many out there. What do you recommend if somebody still has those pent-up feelings and wants to talk?
I mean, there's a range. So if you feel like it's kind of lingering there, but you're not really concerned it's interfering with their daily life, there are lots of great resources online. I would say as kids get older, oftentimes they're going to want to talk to you But you can also reach out to people like the school counselor is one that's easily accessible to most people. They probably have some really quick and easy things to give you.
Nice, great advice. Amanda Davis with St. Luke's, thank you so much for what you've been doing and what your team has been doing. A reminder, help is out there, as we said, if you need it. And the folks at the local Trauma Recovery Network tell me they are happy to help connect you with therapists in our area. You can reach out to them online at kctraumarecoverynetwork.com.